Welcome to Spenelli Speaks. Welcome to my channel. Danny here. I am very excited. Today is my June TBR, and if you saw my May wrap up, I read 14 books in May, so I made my June TBR quite a hefty pile. So I'm excited to see if I can do it again. I am thrilled that I am already over 50% done with my Goodreads goal. I'm at, I think, 51%, which is amazing, which means I've read 51 books this year already. I don't think I've ever done that in my whole life, so I'm thrilled. I want to keep on going. I'm like 10 books ahead of schedule, which is going to really come in handy as I get closer to my wedding, and I'm hopeful that maybe December I won't actually need to read for my goal, and I can just have a lot of fun with Vlogmas. I'm gonna do that this year. That'll be fun. But anywho, let's get into the books that I plan on reading for the month of June. Now, some of these are smaller. I am keeping up per usual with a classic or two, and I am going to read Elizabeth Gaskell's short story called The Old Nurse's Story. So this is one of those little tiny Penguin classics, and I'm excited to read this. The lettering is really tiny, so it's a little bit deceptive. It might take me a little bit, but I would like to read that. I picked this up at a thrift shop while back because I was like, ooh, 25 cents, I'll pick this up, and then just put it on my shelf and never read it. Sounds like Danny. So I'm going to go ahead and read that. Sticking with Elizabeth Gaskell, I'm going to also read North and South. I loved the miniseries that was on Netflix for a while. I think it was made by BBC, but I really liked the story a lot, so I would like to read that. It's a bit of a chunkster. It's pretty dense. I mean, these words are tiny, but I want to read this. I'm very interested, so I'm going to go ahead and read that as well. To keep up with my Series of Unfortunate Events vlog series, I'm reading the next book in that series. So last month I read Miserable Mill and the Austere Academy. This month I'm reading the Erstadt's Elevator, and I'm excited about that. Again, I'm only just starting to reread these books. Oh, what's that? There's something in this one. Oh, that is so cool. I get these from thrift shops and stuff, but someone left this little tiny, I don't know if you can see that. It's like a little bookmark with little, it looks like it came from like a postage stamp thing or something. That is so cool. I'm gonna use that as my bookmark. That's so cute. But anywho, so these are about the Baudelaire orphans, and they are trying to stay out of the grips of Count Olaf, and this is the next in that installment. This is book 6, so I'll be doing my vlog series. If you've been keeping up in those, I'll put a link to those vlogs above. Then I want to read this one. This is The House on Mango Street. I really don't want to not say this correctly, but Sandra Cisneros. I don't even know why I try. But The House on Mango Street, it says, acclaimed by critics, beloved by readers of all ages, taught everywhere from grade schools to universities across the country, and translated all over the world. The House on Mango Street is a remarkable story of Esperanza Cordero, told in a series of vignettes, sometimes heartbreaking, sometimes deeply joyous. It's a story of a young Latina girl growing up in Chicago, inventing for herself who and what she will become. Few other books in our time have touched so many readers. So I've heard a lot about this. I saw it at Goodwill. It was 79 cents. I picked up in one of my book hauls, and I knew I had heard of it, and I wanted to read that. So I'm going to pick that up for this month as well. It's a small one, so it shouldn't take too long. Kind of a novella, or they said it's vignettes, so it's small stories. Then, as you saw in April, I read Leanne Moriarty's What Alice Forgot. And as I've been accumulating those books, I need to read another one. So this month, I'm going to read The Hypnotist's Love Story. This one is Ellen O'Farrell is a professional hypnotherapist who works out of the eccentric beachfront home she inherited from her grandparents. It's a nice life except for her tumultuous relationship history. She's stoic about it, but at this point, Ellen wouldn't mind something long-term. When she meets Patrick, she's optimistic. He's attractive, single, employed, and best of all, he seems to like her back. Then comes that dreaded moment. He thinks they should have a talk. Braced for the worst, Ellen is pleasantly surprised. It turns out that Patrick's ex-girlfriend is stalking him. Ellen thinks, actually, that's kind of interesting. She's dating someone worth stalking. She's intrigued by the woman's motives. In fact, she'd even love to meet her. She doesn't know it, but she already has. Oh, this is going to be super creepy. Oh my gosh. I would not. Why would that be intriguing? You're being stalked. That should be really creepy and fearful of what that stalker is going to do to you because you're with the person they want to be with. I'm going to really like this one, I think. So I have that one on the list. Then I am doing a buddy read with Amanda from Curly Reader for Little Bee. We both bought this book because the cover, as you can tell, it's beautiful. It's very shiny and vibrant. We actually both bought it at a thrift store. I mean, separately. She lives in, Minnesota and I live in Wisconsin, so it's not like we were both at a thrift store together, but you know what I mean. It just happened to be very serendipitous that we both did the same thing in different areas of the world. And we wanted to do a buddy read together, so we picked this one out because we both owned it. So here we go. For June, we're going to do Little Bee. This one is interesting. So that says, this is a story of two women. Their lives collide one fateful day, and one of them has to make a terrible choice. The kind of choice we hope you never have to face. 2 years later, they meet again, and the story starts there. Intriguing. Then, like I said last month, I was going to do Britt Marie Was Here, but read Grandmother Says She's Sorry instead, which I rated 5 stars. Excited to jump into Frederick Bachman's Britt Marie Was Here. Really excited for that one. Then because Sue Monk Kidd, she has a new book out. I believe it's called The Book of Longings, and I love the cover art for it, and I've heard good things, so I need to get into her style of writing. I picked this up at a library book sale, I think, a couple of months ago. She also wrote Secret Life of Bees. So I picked up The Mermaid Chair, and I'm interested in getting onto this one. I think here we have in the side, it says, let's see, inside the church of a Benedictine monastery on Egret Island, just off the coast of South Carolina, resides a beautiful and mysterious chair ornately carved with mermaids and dedicated to a saint who, legend claims, was a mermaid before her conversion. When Jessie is summoned home to an island to cope with her eccentric mother's seemingly inexplicable act of violence, she is living a conventional life with her husband Hugh, a life molded to the smallest space possible. Jessie loves Hugh, but once there, she finds herself drawn to Brother Thomas, a monk who is soon to take his final vows. Amid a rich community of unforgettable island women and the exotic beauty of marshlands, tidal creeks, and majestic egrets, Jessie grapples with the tension of desire and the struggle to deny it, with a freedom that feels overwhelmingly right and immutable force of home and marriage. You can tell that I don't read these, right? Because this is like not what I expected at all, but also very intriguing. So, Mermaid Chair, we're going to read that one. Then I picked this one up at a library book sale that I went with my mother, and I just like the cover. If you know me, you know I buy things because of the cover. I'm a total weirdo, but really very interested in this. I actually think I did read something of this when I was picking it up, but so this is a Canadian style book, or Canadian It's a Canadian book. In 1950s Quebec, the French and English tolerate each other with precarious civility, much like Maggie Hugh's parents. Maggie's English-speaking father has ambitions for his daughter that don't include marriage to the poor French boy Gabriel Phoenix on the neighboring farm. But Maggie's heart is captured by Gabriel. When she becomes pregnant at 15, her parents force her to give baby Elodine, I don't know, up for adoption and get her life back on track. We're just going to call her E. E is raised in Quebec's impoverished orphanage system. It's an insecure enough existence that takes a tragic turn when E, along with thousands of other orphans in Quebec, is declared mentally ill as the result of a new law that provides more funding to psychiatric hospitals than to orphanages. Withstanding abysmal treatment at the nuns' hands, E finally earns her freedom at 17, when she is thrust into an alien, often unnerving world. What? Whoa! This says Philomena meets the orphan train in a heart-wrenching story of mother-daughter bond that could not be broken. A novel inspired by true events. Oh my gosh! This sounds really interesting. I'm going to be very interested in reading this one. You just send a bunch of kids to a psychiatric ward? Oh my gosh, that's so crazy. I'm very interested in this one. Okay. So there's that one. Then another buddy read that I'm going to be doing is The Bookwoman of Troublesome Creek, and we're reading that with Rainy over at Rainy Day Reads. We're super excited. I know Amanda at Curly Reader recently read this one, and it's been on my Goodreads list, and I think that Rainy had thought of it too, and we were just like, well, let's go ahead and do it together. So we're very excited about that. It's, from what I recall, there's something about this woman where she has something like, there's something with her pigmentation, and it's set, I believe, in the 60s, but that's all I can remember from it. So I apologize that I don't have the book with me to give you the synopsis on it. Synopsis. That's my bad. Anywho, the last read-along that I'm doing, so I'm doing 2 buddy reads and a read-along, is the much anticipated Brandon Sanderson's The Way of Kings. And I'm reading this with a whole bunch of people that I adore. So Christy Lewis over at Dostoevsky, oh my gosh, I almost got it all out, in space, is hosting another amazing read-along. They just finished Victor Hugo's The Hunchback of Notre Dame. Even though I didn't read that book, I loved going in and being part of the discussion and giving my 2 cents on a book I didn't read, but loved it. There's such a great group of people, but she is hosting that along with Victoria at A Musical Bookworm. You'll remember Victoria used to be Victoria Reads Too Much. I think that's what her channel name was. And then we also have Michael Knipp, who has exploded across BookTube, which, congratulations, man. What are you doing, man? Man. Anywho, and then Ryan at Seeking Stories. So I am super excited to participate with the 4 of them. They are really great people. If you haven't already, I'll put their links in the description below so that you can go and check them out. They will be reading The Way of Kings. We'll be discussing that. It's actually across both June and July, and then the next book after that for 2 months, and the next book after that for 2 months, in the anticipation of the 4th book in the Stormlight Archives series is releasing in November. I have only ever read Steelheart from Brandon Sanderson. So according to my brother Alex, this is the best book ever written. So I have to get on that. So I'm very, very excited to get into this. It is a huge chunkster of a book, but I am thoroughly excited to join this group of people and get this read and share my thoughts. So I hope you do too. You can follow the hashtag StormAlong2020 on both Instagram and Twitter. There are different sections, and then Christy also has a book club that you are more than welcome to join, and I'll put that all in the link below. So yeah, what are you guys reading in June? Are you doing any buddy reads? Are you reading anything epic like Brandon Sanderson? Are you going to be doing Storm Along? I mean, it's going to be insane. I cannot wait. It's going to be so much fun. Have you read any of these books that I have here? What were your thoughts? Are there any that I should be like, Danny, don't read that. It was horrible. Don't waste your time. Let me know. Also, if you're interested in ever doing a buddy read with me, I'm super up for that. I love buddy reads. I love sharing ideas. So if you're looking for the next couple months to do a buddy read with me, I am very much open to that. So let me know what you're thinking. Okay, well, I think that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you guys are all reading something great. If you are still here, thank you so much. I love you all, both new subscribers and people that have been here since the beginning. I love you all. You're awesome. So if you aren't yet subscribed, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you can see when all my new videos come out. I do post on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, and Thursdays are my rapid reviews. So hope you're all taking care. You know how it goes, guys. Happy reading. Bye.